Hey there, I'm Stacy, and I'm going to be sharing a couple of stories. I have just a handful of stories that I want to share. Some things that happened to me. I saw an angel, or had an angel encounter. I guess I could call it an angel encounter when I was 25, and it was many years ago. Something that stuck with me my entire life, and I think it's worth sharing. I never had kids, and I think that what happened was just one of a few things over the course of my life that just were so specific and so revealing about how involved God is in our life that I think it's worth sharing, so that, not so you can think, oh, well, I want an angel encounter, as much as you can realize what I have realized through all this is, wow, God is real, and He is watching, and He sees everything, and He doesn't miss a beat. And thank heaven for that. So what happened was I was trying to make a career decision. I had gotten myself all the way to the finish line of trying to apply for and get into a school on a scholarship program, a Rotary scholarship program. So I'd done all this work to get to that point, while I was also doing all this work to get a transfer to the DC office of my company. And I realized when I got to this crossroads of I really gotten myself between a rock and a hard spot, what am I going to do? It occurred to me that I hadn't even prayed about it at all. And it freaked me out a little bit, because I thought, I hadn't even asked God what I'm supposed to do or what I should do. So I probably need to pray about this. And so it was lunch, and it was lunchtime. This is back in the day where you work in the office every day, and I was wearing pantyhose, for Pete's sake. I know nobody does that anymore, but I don't know why I said that. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. This was a while ago. But so I had to leave my office downtown, and I drove to the only church that I knew in Dallas. And I was kind of in a panic, because this was all kind of coming to a head, and I was about to find out what was going to happen. And it was a huge life changer. So I drove to the church, parked, tried to get in the chapel. They had a beautiful chapel next to their church. And I tried to get in the chapel, and the doors were locked, And so I went around the side door, and those doors were locked. And so they had a back door, and I figured out how to get back there so I could get into the back entrance of the chapel, and those doors were locked. Well, by then I was just freaked out a little bit. I mean, it was so overwhelming. And once I decided I need to pray about this, it became an urgency. Oh my gosh, I have got to pray about this. I've got to ask God what to do. I don't know what to do. And so that last set of doors, the third set of doors, I grabbed the door, and it was locked. And I just stood there, and I was crying, and I had my hand on the door, and a man over my left shoulder said, "Do you want me to let you in the chapel to pray?" And I turned around, and I looked at him, and I was embarrassed, because I had tears down my cheeks. I was crying, I'm going to start crying now. But I looked at him, and I saw him, and I turned away because I was embarrassed. And I had my hands down. I said, "Yeah, please." And I don't even know if I said anything. I think I just nodded my head. He just grabbed the door handle and opened the door. And I didn't give it any thought at the time. I gave it no thought at the time. But just wait till I tell you later. I'm looking at my hair here. Wait till I tell you later what this guy looked like. Because it's stunning to me that I didn't just look at him and go, "Oh my stars, you are an angel." Because in hindsight, he clearly was. I mean, it was bizarre, right? And the fact that I just looked at him, and I looked away because I was focused on bawling. I'm crying. And I'm just trying to get in the chapel. And he's like, "Do you want me to let you in to pray?" I said, "Yes." And I went in. I go in, and I that was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. In fact, I don't think I've really ever had a panic moment where I went to a church. That was like a big panic, go to the church. I looked at they had a Bible in the pew, and I opened up to a verse, and I opened it up to, it's actually two verses in the Bible that cover this, both in the New Testament. One's in Matthew, one's in John, I think. But it talks about, not even a sparrow falls from the sky apart from the will of your Father. And you're worth so much more than just a sparrow, or, God knows exactly what you're going through, is what the passage is about. And I got on my knees and just started praying and asking him what to do. I said, you've got to tell me what to do. I don't know what to do. I've gotten myself in a bind now, and now I'm, I try to make all these things happen, and now they're happening, and I can't control them, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and these are life changers. Please tell me what to do. And I was probably there for about a half an hour and just unloaded and just told him, I'm sorry. I hadn't asked you what to do. I'm sorry. I've gotten myself to this point. And I should have asked you at the beginning, not the end, after I'd gotten myself all in a pickle. And so I went back to work, and I hadn't sat down at my desk. Had my overhead bin, put my purse in the overhead bin. I was sitting down at my cube, and I was about to sit down, and the phone rang. I picked up the phone, and it was the DC office, and they told me that they've had some changes and have decided to go another route with the Pacific. And I don't think it was until that night, I think, or maybe even a day later, and this is years ago, it occurred to me what this man looked like. And all of a sudden, I could see him clearly. He had gold bronze skin. Not like he was tan, but like he was like a golden bronze skin. He was wearing all white shirt, button-down shirt, white pants. I don't know about his shoes, but his skin was a bronzed gold color. His hair was a bronzed gold color. Like you've been in the sun, but it's like if you were, I don't even know how to, it's like a brunette, like a brown-headed person. Goes kind of a golden bronze color, like a beautiful color, but not a natural color at all. Like a bronze, gold, brunette color. His eyes were very bright blue. And he obviously didn't use keys or anything. He just grabbed the door handle and opened the door, which didn't resonate at the time. In fact, it was like my brain did not even resonate the fact that this man looked like something very inhuman. Maybe that's it. He didn't need keys to open the door, and it didn't even dawn on me until much later. Oh my stars, that was an angel. And this whole thing was literally God wanted me to ask him for direction. He just wanted me to ask him. And once I asked him, everything fell into place. I think the lesson for me there was let God lead the way. Don't get yourself in a bind where you have to call him in a panic. Let him lead the way the whole time. Always let him be in the front. When you're trying to make a decision, put him in the front of the decision and say, I'm going to do all I can, but I'm giving this to you. Please tell me what I should do. And please guide my path. Open doors, close doors, and make it clear what I'm supposed to do. I will do whatever you want me to do. I need your help. And I can tell you in all circumstances, he wants you to ask him. He wants you to know that he knows best and to trust him. Trust him to direct your path. So that's all I got on that story, guys. I've got a few other stories that are all pretty cool that I wanted to share because I don't have kids and I feel like somebody needs to know these stories. So I'm sharing them with you, whoever cares to listen. But that's my angel story, and I've cherished it my whole life. I have cherished that situation, that event that happened to me my whole life. So I'm glad to share it with you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learn from it and apply it in your own life. Cheers.